Hey Legacy community, it's Terramaster and welcome back. I'm back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy video. Today is a mixed bag. I do want to talk about some very exciting news that has come out. So if you were to look in the description below, you will see Konami has an official Speed Duel survey. It's been going around. It's on all the good Speed Duel YouTube channels already, at least the ones that I think that I can remember. It's on all the Speed Duel Discords already, so you've probably already heard about it and taken it. I just kind of wanted to give my take on it, and I did want to quickly update on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy channel in general. So obviously, because Speed Duels has not gotten anything new, any news, any new cards, any new sets, I've been kind of quiet on that front, and because of that, I have kind of been quiet in general on this channel. I will say one thing though, I'm working on a few different really, what I think will be really cool, really unique YouTube series that actually are things that take a long time to plan. And part of that is because just the nature of the thing, like we're gonna play using like specific sets of rules and stuff. They'll all be really cool, I promise. And part of that is because it's so specific, like the rules are so specific and stuff. I need people to collaborate with, and so we have to get our schedules to match up, and that's always like an issue in and of itself. But just know that there's like a few really cool things that are in process for me, and I'm working on planning them. I work on them a little bit almost every day if I can, so I'll try to get those things out as soon as possible. Anyway, back to Speed Duels. So this survey, Konami official, and lots of people are really kind of excited about it, and it's given people hope in the community, and the outlook on it has been pretty positive, at least from everything I've read and heard. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think someone has to do it. Someone has to kind of play devil's advocate here. So I am going to take that role upon myself, and I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I'm just going to flat out say that this could be a reason for hope. Absolutely, it could be a reason for hope. But remember, and this is what's probably going to cause you to boo me in the comments or leave a dislike, but this could also be kind of a preview or like a prelude or a prologue, or I don't know, whatever word you want to use, for kind of Speed Duels to officially end. Okay, and hear me out. The reason I say that is because if this survey goes well and Konami sees a lot of responses, a lot of positive answers, they're going to see dollar signs pop up in front of their eyes, and they're going to go ahead and print more Speed Duel product. Maybe they'll do it even as soon as in, the next couple months from now. Maybe we'll have something in September. But this could also easily go the other way. And that means that Konami could not like what they see in terms of how many people respond to the survey and how the people respond to the survey. Konami could not like the turnout they're getting at the Remote Duel Extravaganza, although, come on, I went to a few of those when the format was new and fresh, but it's really hard when there's nothing new, nothing fresh happening to the format, and there's clear balancing that also needs to be done at the same time. So there's another whole different reason for that, but Konami could still use as an excuse. So if Speed Duels is something they don't want to do in the first place, that's something they could use as an excuse. They could be like, look, we tried, we pushed, we gave them events, we gave them a unique prize, which was the mat. We gave them a survey to try to tell us how they feel about the game, and we just didn't get enough responses, enough positive responses to justify investing money into this product. And that obviously is the worst case scenario for the Speed Duel community, but I'm just saying that be prepared for the fact that it could happen. Now, obviously, I don't want it to happen. I know a lot of you that watch this channel that are into Speed Duels probably don't want that to happen either, but just remember that it could happen. So now that the bad news is out of the way, I do want to go ahead and talk about the survey itself and kind of a few things that I did mention on the survey that perhaps just maybe you guys want to know my thoughts So here we go. The first thing that I'm looking at is, okay, so they asked if you want a ban list. And I said, yes, absolutely, Speed Duels needs a ban list. This game is desperately in need for a balancing. And we will only get that in the form of a Forbidden Limited list. Now, if you're familiar with Judgment Gaming, the Discord server, Justice, who is the founder of that Discord server, he also made a ban list himself, custom community made ban list for Speed Duels. I was part of the little ban list council that made that, and I think did a really good job on it. Obviously, I'm biased when I say that, but we made it a dueling style ban list. So that's another thing. That's another question on the survey. What type of ban list do you think works best? And now I'm only giving you this suggestion because I have actually experienced not only building a ban list, but having tournaments, seeing tournaments ran, playing in tournaments, using a dueling style ban list for Speed Duels, and I think it works best. And I think we're not the only ones. Another dueling style ban list was done by 5 Dimension TCG, a big Spanish community, Speed Duel community leader, for lack of a better term, right? Big tournament host. And that tournament went really, really well as well. So I think a dueling style ban list works best for a format where decks are already 20 cards, because if you semi-limit or limit multiple different cards, it's easy to just play them all anyway, right? So, and also it makes it easier to nerf skill cards without actually banning them. So for example, you could limit Parasite, Moth, and Cocoon all to 3, and that way you either take out Parasite's power by cutting it down to 1, you take out Moth's power by making them play Metal Armor Bug instead, or you just say that, okay, people just aren't going to play the deck anymore, right? So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about that could potentially happen. So another example is that you could put Haunted Shrine and Zombina both at 2, so you can't run 3 Zombina, 3 Haunted Shrine for sure, but you also can't run 2 of each. You have to run 1 of each, or 2 Shrine or 2 Zombina. So that's the kind of stuff that I think it also makes deck building more of a challenge. So it makes the game more skill oriented in general from the very beginning of the process. So that's why I argue for a dueling style ban list. The other thing I wanted to talk about was that they did ask you why Speed Duels is something that you like playing. And my answer to that pretty much was nostalgia. It was talking about, what else did I say? It was, the rules, and how there's not a lot of complicated rules. And I did say I do like how the games go fast. Now, I really hope they did not interpret that as the fact that I want more OTK formats. But what I meant by that is that the games go fast in terms of, like, it's easy to get a friend who doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, right? Or who's kind of into it, Yu-Gi-Oh, but never played it competitively or whatever, back into Yu-Gi-Oh through Speed Duels. And, like, even if it's only Speed Duels, because, like, I had a friend come over sometimes for like 2 or 3 hours, and we could play, like, 10 games in that time span, right? So that's what has a unique appeal to it too. And that's what I mean, like, even if the games were slow-ish, we could still play a ton of games in just a little bit of time. So that's another huge advantage that Speed Duels has, I think, that shouldn't be taken away. And I tried to explain that in my answer, and I hope they don't misinterpret that for me saying that, oh yeah, I love OTK formats, because I actually don't. But there is an appeal to Speed Duels being a lot faster than what regular Yu-Gi-Oh can be. And I think that's all I kind of really wanted to go over. One last thing on the survey. They said, what else would you like to see in Speed Duels, right? And I clicked on other, and this says please specify. So the only specific thing I said was, official rulings, because we do not have an official ruling source right now from Konami. So that's very important for a format like this to have its own official rule set, especially because the format has its own unique set of cards, which are skill cards, which are essentially spell speed 4, because you can't respond to them with anything, not even counter traps. So it's very important to have official rulings, at least for the skills, and honestly for all of Speed Duels. Like, a lot of cards that may have been irrelevant in the TCG, so we never really had official ruling discussions on them, but because they're relevant in Speed Duels, all of a sudden you need those rulings on those cards as well. So yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts on the survey, hopefully once you've taken it. And yeah, look forward to some really cool unique series coming from me in the future, collaborating with some people on Judgment Gaming, the team, which is also a team. So with that being said, I am back, and I will see you again hopefully soon. It just depends on when I finish the video or when there's more speed duel news. Anyway, Terra Master out.